Hello anyone and everyone. I first must apologise for not making any videos in what must have been 2 or 3 months by now, but I do hope to come back with either this kind of series or something similar like Awesome Not Sir Isaac that I started a few months back. In any case, this will be a series in which I review a couple games I've completed, and just to give you my thoughts and the general overview on how they played out. I will be starting off, in this case, with FEZ. FEZ is a great puzzle platformer developed by Phil Fish and Polytron Studios, as well as Blitzwork, who mainly worked on porting the game to PC. They also ported titles like Splunky and Bastion by Supergiant Games. I was initially not really too impressed by FEZ. I played it for like an hour maybe, and then I created the first cube, I left the village, and entered the first kind of main area of the game, and I just kind of turned it off. I left it for about a month, came back, and I was actually really impressed. I tried to go through as much of the game as I could without any outside sources, outside help. Got maybe 60% and 70% through the game. I could have got to the original ending, but I kind of I copped out and had to look at some outside sources to work out some of the extra puzzles. From a review standpoint, the first thing I picked up on was that FEZ has a great soundtrack. It's currently also on sale for $4.99 on Steam, and it definitely adds well to the ambience of the game, which leads on to the art as well is also like great. There's not really I'm not really sure how I can describe it. There's a lot of hidden detail that if you kind of play through the game the first time, you may not see because you're looking for the puzzle in the game. You're looking for how to beat it. But if I've kind of gone through the first area again to get the footage for this video, I noticed a lot of smaller things that you don't really have to. They're just kind of there, and I think that's neat. Occasionally, some of those missed details can be important, however. Like in the first area of the village, one of the houses has 4 paintings on it that you can look around at on the 3D view. And I guess you won't notice the first time you go through the game, but the 4 paintings depict 4 owls sitting on different trees, which you can find in the later areas of the game, and they actually help you with a pretty big puzzle in one of the later areas that helps you, I guess, finish the final cube. From very early on during the game, about 5 minutes in, which will just about to come up in the video I think, the game actually breaks the 4th wall. As the cube is broken apart when you first enter 3D view, it pretends to shut down your computer, and pretends to reboot it, boots up FEZ, but you can kind of tell that something's off in the main menu. But it then brings you back into Gomez's room, and everything's kind of fine, apart from you can indeed spin the world in 3 dimensions, and the people kind of notice it. They have altered dialogue that's like, hey, what's going on? This isn't normal. The puzzles that you run into during the game have a fair variety, I'd say. Most of them come in the form of a left trigger, right trigger input code, which can be off-putting. I found that with the first couple of puzzles that I wasn't really too sure why they were like that. But as the game was ported to PC, and because most of the puzzles were originally in controller form, I guess they didn't go that far as to change the actual input. And I can see why, because some of the puzzles actually require shapes, and these shapes, when interpreted differently, represent different buttons on the controller, which I feel, as much as it didn't really resonate with me that they should be like that, I can see why they didn't bother to go through the whole game just to make the game so PC friendly that there wasn't actually an issue there. While this is an issue, it's fine really. After the first couple you kind of get used to it, and it kind of adds to the charm of these actually puzzles are actually pretty neat. FEZ also has its own alphabet and number system, which indeed I did have to look up the first couple of times I ran into it, and from then on I just used my own guide to try and work out the rest of the puzzles in the game. It has a pretty neat way of finding it out, and I think if you really worked hard to find out all the puzzles by yourself, that you maybe could do it, but it would take a long time and a lot of work, and I'm not sure that from anywhere past when the first guides were put up on the YouTube and or Google search, that many people did it fully by themselves. All in all, FEZ is a neat little puzzle platformer that I would definitely recommend for only $6.99 on Steam. It's got a lot of charm, a lot of ambience, and a nice little ending that kind of is left open to interpretation. I'm not really sure how I would describe it, but I was kind of inspired a little bit by the kind of openness, the kind of implications of the ending, and I definitely recommend you go and check it out. You definitely have to experience this game. It is good. 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10. FEZ is a real good game, and you should probably go check it out. In any case, thank you for watching my little review on FEZ. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, or perhaps even subscribing to the channel, as I do hope to be getting more of this kind of stuff out, or perhaps a return to my old stuff in the future. And I will see you guys next time.